How are we doing? You can hear me okay, right? How are we doing? Doing good. Hopefully we're doing well. Welcome to the stream. It's been 2 weeks since the last one. Weren't able to stream last week, unfortunately, because Gray was at the beach, and he didn't tell me. Uh, and now this week we pushed it back to by a day because Gray was busy yesterday, and then we pushed it back by an extra half hour because I thought we were streaming at the normal time, but apparently Gray wanted to start half an hour late. So a bit of miscommunication there on my end, which means it's also probably going to be a shorter stream today. But hopefully you guys are all there. Hopefully you're all doing well. I see there are a couple people watching. Hey, Shrew Shay, good to see you in the chat. Uh, But yeah, we're just going to be doing some more Minecraft interior design, as you can see from today's title. Uh, should have some good news, some good discussion topics. Should be a pretty standard stream. You guys all know what the deal is. So let me go ahead, fire up Discord. There we are, and let's start. Let's start the party. Uh, and I pushed it back by half an hour, and he's not even going to show up. What? All right. All right. Well, I guess it be like that sometimes, you know? It just be like that. So, anyways, hopefully you guys had a solid week. I've been chilling. I don't know if you guys saw the vlog that came out on Friday or Saturday, but I got a PS5 finally. So I've been playing that over the past week, and it's been pretty fantastic. I've been having an absolute ball of a time trying out Spider-Man. Really is what I've been playing, Spider-Man 2018, and that's just an absolutely fantastic open world game. Uh, Never really played an Insomniac title before, at least not that I can recall. So good first impression, I suppose. Uh, Playing one of their most critically acclaimed titles with Spider-Man. So yeah, would recommend if you guys have the chance to pick it up. You can get I think the full game for like $20 or something like that. I'm sure it might be even a PlayStation Hits title for PS4. Hey, stop that! My cat is biting my headphone cable. He's not supposed to be doing that. What are you doing? Get out of here. He's not usually in my room this late at night. What is he doing? All right. Well, I'm firing up Minecraft now while we wait for Gray. Because what do you want? He's so My cat is so annoying most of the time. Half the time he wants nothing to do with you, and then the other half of the time he wants your undivided attention. Stop biting my headphones. Stop doing that. Naughty, Senor Jerkface. Don't nudge that either. He's nudging my Wi-Fi adapters. He wants pets. Yeah, I'm trying to give him pets, and he's still being a jerk about it. Uh, Anyways, well, we got Minecraft fired up now, as you guys can see. Better not be biting my freaking headphone cable anymore. Yep, Gray's not on yet, so and now he's gonna climb into my lap. Yep, yep. Uh, this is just how it is with a cat. It is attention on his own terms. That's how it is with all cats, I think. Uh, they're just they're the worst. Cats are terrible. What an absolute jerk. And now he's just on my lap. So I guess this is how the stream is gonna go for the next half hour. Uh, all right. Well, I'm almost tempted to start the news without Gray. This is tragic. I pushed the stream back half an hour for him. Let me check to make sure. Let's see. I'll text him real quick. You good, Chief? Question mark. Send. There we go. As you can see, I was last I was in the creative world, I was making the title card for tonight's video. So here's our mock I guess our mock mayor, and then the mock interior I was doing. If our bar was a little bit bigger, this is what I would have loved to have made. You know, something like this, small carpet, nice big wraparound couch with an actual bar.
Hola,
Oh, there he is.
hola.
Finally.
Apologies on that. I was busy practicing my impersonation of my grandfather for show and tell day at work.
Oh no.
Oh,
I
it's
can't wait
no,
to
it's
hear about how that goes.
yeah. I found his old uniform. It's still it's um, still a
All
little
right.
bit beaten up, but you know it's in great shape, and yeah, I'm looking forward to representing. I don't want to get too political this early on, but I'll just state for the record that I'm very proud of my heritage,
Yeah, I'm sure
my
you
my
are. I'm sure
Argentinian
you are.
heritage. I think
I'm
the
sure you
viewers
are.
don't really often get just the beauty of that all of my voice is being spoken through Ben Shapiro with a beard and a turban.
Yeah,
But
I think we need to go back and emphasize this. Look, this is
I think really
Gray's
the
profile
fact,
picture is Ben Shapiro.
so to
Uh,
get the full effect, I am proud of my Argentinian heritage. There
uh,
we go. I feel like it had at least a similar vibe.
I think that's yeah, I think you got it. And I of course am Ben
Alrighty.
Shapiro hamburger helper because what else? And I forget what Davis
Absolutely.
is. He's another Ben
Davis
Shapiro
is
meme.
I thought it was like Ben Shapiro, like Shrek.
Oh no,
What
it's like
is
Ben Shapiro like I don't know, what rapper has like the two-tone hairstyle where it's like split down the middle? Is it like Lil Baby?
is it 6ix9ine?
No, it's not 6ix9ine. It's like blonde on one side and then black on the other.
Oh no, I don't know. We can definitely look up this dude's profile pic right now. I feel like this is an important step.
It's
Shout out to
it's
the
not Lil Baby.
procrastination of the Rocket League update. No, it is not Ben Shapiro, Lil Baby. I would kill to see that collab. Oh, that reminds me. There was another Ben Shapiro clip that went viral this week of him talking about how he would bring a book at parties because he didn't want to waste the time if people weren't interesting. And I have never heard a more Ben Shapiro sentence in my life.
Oh, of course. I mean, I haven't either. That sounds about right.
I feel like Ben Shapiro steals money,
Yeah, he
like
talks
steals
about like,
tips.
Ben Shapiro destroying liberals with facts and logic, but he would not be like an enjoyable guy to hang around, I don't think.
No, I
Just
think a lot
that
of the
statement
people that are
alone,
his fans just
they
don't
would not
realize
mesh.
he's just not an enjoyable person to hang out with. It just, you ever get a vibe? Like, I've never met Kamala Harris, but I just feel like I just would not want to spend a
Oh,
lot of time with Kamala Harris.
certainly.
I just, I just get a vibe because if you spend a lot of time with her, you'd probably wind up in jail. But we're probably getting ourselves
Ooh,
back into that political. That political. Oh, I was referring to the fact that she was the DA, and so she would put people in jail. But so just to clarify, I do not think most people in her organization are criminals. That was not the accusation I was making. So just to clarify, it's been a
yeah,
busy week. It's been a busy 2 weeks because
yeah. Been busy for you
we
too.
yeah, that's true. I think for those of you that that are patient enough to follow along with this absolute disaster of a podcast schedule.
Hmm.
We were busy last week, um, taking a break. Is that what we're calling it?
Gray was taking a break.
I was taking a break.
Yeah,
That is, yeah, that's what happened.
yeah.
I
I
had to
I
I had to
considered
take a
streaming
trip.
anyways,
Okay.
but I couldn't think of anything to talk about, so I decided to not.
Yes, and that is
Uh,
apologies to the viewers on
yeah,
that. That
couldn't
is
come up with
we
anything on
didn't
such short notice. So sorry about
we
that,
didn't
guys.
hit our check-in text that we often do. And so when you called me Sunday, I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah. It was just the
Oh.
one week where I didn't text Gray at like 10 in the morning, like, hey man, you still good to stream tonight? Like, I do that
And that
every
was the
week or
week
almost
that
every
I
week, and
was,
last week was the first week where I didn't, and it just so
yeah,
happened to
it
be.
it
Yeah,
completely slipped both of our minds.
oh well. Shrita Shay wants to know how your trip was.
Oh, my trip. Well, thank you for asking. The trip was particularly the World Cup, by the way.
All
That
right,
was
nice.
phenomenal. For those of you wondering, I went to the Outer Banks, and for clarification, I went to the real ones,
Yes,
um,
not the
the
ones in
real
the
Outer
TV
Banks,
show.
not the fake Outer Banks in the TV show, which is filmed in entirely South Carolina. And let's just take a moment
And the Outer Banks are not in
to
South Carolina.
realize, yeah, to realize that the Outer Banks was filmed in South Carolina, not North Carolina, as a protest over HB2,
Hmm.
the bill that they passed. So, for clarification, this was a conservative transgender rights bill, and we're not going to get into that.
Yeah,
Long
it,
story short, it caused a ton of damage to
yeah,
the states,
it just
particularly the film, and it was a
it
bad.
was a bad move. It was a really
It was.
bad
It
move.
was. It will be the Pat McCrory of House bills for a long time. But
Oh,
basically, yeah, you like that one? That's a North
yeah.
Carolina reference if I've ever heard one.
Say, tell me you're from North Carolina without telling me you're from North
Oh
Carolina.
yeah. So
Uh,
so anyway, um, oh gosh, I forget the joke I was making
Pat McCrory.
about age. Oh right, no, I was mocking Netflix because they
Yeah,
decided that was too conservative. North Carolina was too conservative,
so they
so
went
they
to
went.
South Carolina, which is even more conservative.
Yeah, let's two things. South Carolina's most popular House bill was one of secession
Yeah.
from the Union. So that's fun fact number one, and fun fact number two, because the Outer Banks aren't there. They filmed on the Sea Islands, which were a string of cotton plantations along the shores of South Carolina.
There's some history for you guys. Yeah.
So a real absolute win for Netflix's PR department.
Yeah.
I
Way to go,
just I really
guys.
cannot think of a better way to show those conservatives who's boss than going and filming on plantation land in a state that seceded from the Union before any other.
Yeah.
Really phenomenal job, guys.
Yeah. So,
Which season two is coming out this Friday. So if you are interested
all
in
right.
yeah, I feel like we've
Which
really
I'm
gotten off
not.
track here.
Yeah. So I'm real quick. I'm going to show
I
viewers what we've done over the
oh
past couple days,
oh yeah,
and
that
then we'll
is
get
true.
into the news. So we did a little bit of work over on the plateau. First of all, I
Yeah.
fixed up the wall kind of surrounding
Ooh.
just a
I
little
really
bit,
was about to just fall like just to my death in front of the.
almost. You almost were.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
almost
fixed
wanted
that up
to.
just a little bit. Ooh, that's a little
No.
dark.
Whoops.
Too dark.
We've been
Um,
getting a little too political
and then
lately.
yesterday, last night, we fixed up we
Last night.
kind of figured out what we wanted to do, lay everything out down
Yeah.
here. So as you can see, we
So for
moved
those
the
of you
the
that are,
stairway,
that is
the
true. Yeah.
floors, you know, fireplace, couch, and chairs, and a small like dining room table, with the
And
kitchen up here and a little pantry. So
So for those
that's
of
what we'll be
you
working
that
on
were
today.
claiming that we never plan anything out, uh, ha! Look at this. We planned something out, Dreed, and I'm proud of this.
Yeah, I don't know
Uh,
who was claiming we never plan stuff out, but I guess here's some
I
proof.
I don't know about you, but I get a lot of hate mail. I don't know if you remember our friends in the Middle East that got my address after we
Oh,
raided the religion of Islam. Uh,
oh no. You gave
but a
Davis's
lot of
address
my
too.
yes, they will be. They said they were
Uh,
sending him a special surprise.
oh yeah, I hope he gets it soon. Can't wait.
Yeah, well, I think there was a second pallet cage that was following the first one about an hour later. So,
Oh,
we'll,
okay.
yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah. Well, uh, so I guess I'll go ahead and get into the news. I think we're gonna need more dark oak wood before I start. Um,
Oh
Give me
no!
just a second.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
reminds me. I
definitely want
gotta
to
get
put this on.
this stone. I'm gonna get
All
stone,
right.
and I don't see a ton of stone bricks. Uh oh. Do you have any on you? It's
Uh,
not a huge deal. I can
Stone.
go make
I don't have
make some.
any bricks. There's like one brick in there. Um,
There's 7. All right. I am. I'm just. I made a bunch.
all
All
right. Well,
right.
I'm gonna go get some dark oak. Anyways, the news. The Olympics started this past week.
The
Uh,
Olympics did start.
yeah. Did you catch the opening ceremony? 'Cause
I
I did.
catch snippets of it, and it looked kind of fire. But
It
I
was pretty
will
fire. They had
confess
some
that
cool stuff.
yeah, it looks like it. The only thing I will say is it also looked like unrelated, but flashing, sort of related. Flashing back to 2012, um,
Oh,
the
okay.
London Olympics.
Yeah,
They were
I remember.
actually one of the first Olympic games that I watched the opening ceremony to, besides Beijing. So not the first,
Hmm.
but those Olympic ceremony. Like that whole performance was probably the one I remember the most vividly as a kid watching the Olympics. And I will say that going back and looking at that, that was honestly phenomenal. So just on an
The
unrelated
London
note,
opening ceremony. Okay.
mad props to the London opening ceremony, just because
Yeah,
going
9 years
back and
after it
looking at
happened.
that, well, it really just, for me, I love seeing storytelling in performances and in kind of unconventional mediums like that.
Hmm.
And so for me, for something to achieve that degree of storytelling and still be visually appealing to a generic worldwide audience, to me is just a huge win. And so, no disrespect to the Tokyo Olympics, but
No.
I was also reminded this week of how great that ceremony was. So just
Yeah.
thought I'd mention that in case our viewers were wondering if we had enough information to fill the stream tonight. That should resoundingly answer that we in fact do not.
Ooh. Uh,
Oh,
I say, well, I saw the opening ceremony. I thought it was fantastic. Uh, all the technology that they had, the different, uh, just all of the different aspects of it really were just really neat to watch. Um,
indeed, emphatically Japan.
so
I would definitely say that. So I think
yeah,
it's always important. One of the biggest things to me is that the opening ceremony reflect the host country
yeah,
accurately, and to me, I definitely saw that happen.
oh yeah, with
And so I was definitely very happy with the way that
all
came
sorts of
through.
cultural references within the opening ceremony, and I
Hmm.
thought that was really neat. I just love attention to detail, and this definitely had that. So, yeah, props to the opening ceremony. Speaking of Olympics, a U.S. men's basketball. How about it?
Oh, bum
Losing
bum
third
bum.
straight.
Ow. So I
Yeah.
think, was this the first one where they were like they actually lost
Well, like they lost the two exhibition games, but they lost yesterday to France.
to
I
France?
think. I think it was yesterday.
We
Uh,
lost the
we
battle
lost to
of
France.
France. So I think for
This
me,
we actually lost. So this is getting tragic quickly.
this is rough. This is once you're, this early, you're on track to be the worst men's basketball team for the
Mhm.
country like ever.
Yeah.
I think it's you have to start asking yourself some important questions. And so I think for me, I don't know. There's two routes to go from here. All right. So one is that they continue losing until they're done. Okay.
Yeah.
And they go out early and they show no signs of life and they go down as the worst men's team in modern history. Or they pull a complete miracle on ice and they just turn lives around, turn boys to men, and they come out of here and they win the gold. That to me is the only two routes
Well, I don't
that
know if
I
I'd
see
call it a
happening here.
miracle on ice. I think, but
No, I
I do.
said
I
they
think
pull a
it's.
miracle on ice. Are you familiar with the
No,
the
I'm
reference?
familiar. I'm familiar with that. I think the problem with the miracle on ice reference is that the U.S. was definitely underdogs, whereas in this case we're supposed to be the best team in the world. Uh, you know, allegedly, but weren't able
Allegedly.
to. So, but
Huge
I
emphasis on
agree that
allegedly.
we either turned around and win gold or we're going straight out, and currently it's looking like the latter. So,
I would almost argue at this point, just get it over with.
yeah.
I've heard bad things about the Space Jam movie. You know, I which was supposed to be another news tidbit. Um,
I haven't seen Space Jam, but I'm honestly not that surprised.
yeah, to me, it was funny. Me and my dad were actually talking a pretty good deal about it. And Dad was really just making the kind of harsh point for LeBron here that he just does not have the cultural relevance or reputation that Michael Jordan did, or still does.
Hmm.
And I think the more I thought about it, the more I was like,
That's
kind of
definitely that's
kind of
true.
right.
And that's
Like,
definitely one argument for Michael Jordan being the greatest of all time. I hear a
if
lot of
you
arguments for LeBron. I really do.
I do not. If you're hanging around a bunch of people that are advocating for, uh, LeBron over Michael Jordan, I would say, maybe.
I mean, I respect the fact that LeBron has gone to, he finds a new team and wins a championship with them. He's done that like several different times now, but uh, I don't know. Still, there's just something about, Michael Jordan winning 6 championships over
Yeah,
a
I'm
pretty
sorry. Even this,
brief.
even this man's ad campaigns are better. It's just it's hard to describe, but I think for me, I just really don't see a debate here. I mean, that sounds harsh, but
That is a bit harsh. I feel like there is a debate considering how dominant LeBron has been over the past
has he?
decade-ish,
Are we saying that? Because I thought it
half
was kind of
decade at
Golden
least.
State era. People were kind of making the argument that like maybe some of those players were. I mean, and I will state, and I'm sure to anyone that follows basketball, you can tell that we do not
We don't
avidly.
we don't know anything about basketball
So
really.
we
This
are
is
we are
just
not. I think just being pretty transparent that we're not claiming to,
mhm,
but
still.
I just
Although I do know
I,
there are
I
like a
really don't
lot of
know.
a lot of commentators, a lot of of the former NBA players who played against LeBron or not against LeBron, against Jordan, definitely advocate for him being the greatest of all time, no contest. I know, like, Charles Barkley says he'll always argue for Michael Jordan over anyone. He'll always be the greatest.
Yeah, I
Which I
don't
don't
know.
know. It's kind of hard
I don't
to
trust Charles Barkley
I don't
with
know.
anything. So I wouldn't trust that man with the nickel.
What is that?
I
What is
don't
that
know what
supposed to
it
mean?
is. I just don't like Charles
You don't
Barkley
like
or
Charles Barkley?
I mean
Huh.
he's an entertaining. He falls in the same category as Stephen Smith. That every now and then they just remind you why you don't listen to him too often. Yeah, you ever met somebody like that?
Or maybe I'm thinking of Shaq. I don't know.
I was about to say
I'm
because
not sure. Maybe that's Shaq. Maybe that's Shaq I'm
Charles
thinking of.
Barkley. I think
I
the
say I don't.
best way
Now that I
I
think about
would
it,
put it
I might.
is that Charles Barkley is halfway between Shaq and LeVar Ball. That's the way I'd put it.
I don't know. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't know enough about what I'm talking about. I feel like
You
that's
know, I
probably
don't
a
think
safe
we
bet.
ever
We don't talk about
addressed
basketball
too
a
much
lot.
about my trip to the Outer Banks.
Yeah, let's go back to the Outer Banks because let's stop talking about
I think
shit
we really got
we don't know about.
the more I think about it, I don't think we actually answered that. It was good. I got to go up and down. I learned some interesting history. I think you're probably familiar with Ocracoke.
Yeah, I
But
am.
I learned um, that there's actually another town across the inlet from Ocracoke called Plymouth.
Yeah.
Um, that's a completely abandoned town.
Mhm.
Across the inlet from Ocracoke. This was news to me. Um, but there is just a completely abandoned town across the channel from it that you can go and visit. So
Interesting.
we didn't, but I wanted to. So
That'd be cool.
hopefully at some point you get to go see a whole abandoned town.
The squad visits a ghost town.
That would be kind of a sick
That'd be a
vlog,
sick
but
vlog.
there is no doubt, which potentially and get your hopes up. There could be another vlog coming soon.
Is there?
I think there could be. Do you? Do, all right, maybe
Maybe.
we
I
will
mean, I don't
keep
know.
you
We
updated.
we'll we'll talk about it. Yeah. Uh, anyways, but back to I just learned about the Outer Banks literally like 3 days ago. Never heard of it before, and I saw it on a house renovation show. It's a beautiful beach.
Ooh,
It's
it's a beautiful stretch of
a stretch of beaches.
um.
One of the top attractions, I think, for the state of North Carolina.
Oh,
Some of the most
definitely.
beautiful beaches you've ever seen.
Well, and I think it's important to
Just love the East
emphasize
Coast.
that a lot of the appeal is, I mean, these are surprisingly secluded communities. Um, so I
Mm-hmm.
think you start talking about some of these. Um, for reference, I mean, the Outer Banks is, oh gosh, 100 miles, 100 mile stretch of islands.
Yeah.
I want to say. But I mean, I can tell you that from the main bridge onto the Outer Banks up in Roanoke Island, which you might recognize from the Lost Colony, it could be 50, 60 miles down the Outer Banks to Cape Hatteras, which you'll recognize as the elbow or the first, the prominent point along the edge of the Outer Banks. And then from there, it's an hour-long ferry ride to get to Ocracoke, and then another 15 miles down Ocracoke Island to get to the town of Ocracoke.
Right.
Really just quite an expansive stretch, but along that, there's actually a good amount of communities that are there. But I guess the emphasis I'm trying to make is that just because they are such a distance, really um, away from anything in the eastern half of the state, then once you get to the Outer Banks, you could have, another hour and a half, 2 hours to get to where you want to be.
Right.
A lot of these towns along the Outer Banks have some really, and they just feel like small knit beach towns, and particularly Ocracoke
Oh
is
yeah.
one that actually
Ocracoke's
got
very
got
small.
famous because it is so secluded. Ocracoke natives have their own accent
They have
and
their own
dialect,
dialect.
which is recognized.
Hmm.
It is really one of North Carolina's only unique accents.
Aside from,
So
Harnett County redneck.
no, I don't think we should give them their own dialect. They might run with it. We're just gonna put that in generic redneck.
Say that might be another thing that they're proud of,
That's
aside from
true.
their
I know a lot
heritage.
of them are. Yeah, well, they're not too proud of. I don't know. I tried. I feel like we were saying the same thing, but in different languages, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
There are just some. I feel like they were on the right track, but still a little behind the times. You don't want to make
Let's
any
move on to the next
missteps
bit.
such as. Let's
Um,
move on. Yeah,
uh, this isn't going anywhere. I saw that
that's correct.
Raleigh Durham uh,
Oh,
recently received was ranked by U.S. News and World Report as the number
oh, I did
two
see
place to live
this.
in America. Uh, Number one was Boulder, Colorado, of all places.
Oof,
But people
that
were
is
really, really pissed off because they included Raleigh Durham as one place when they are in fact two
that is
separate
true.
cities. Uh,
And so I think
Raleigh Durham is an
this
airport,
is that is
first of all.
correct. Yeah, if you hop off the plane and you were looking for Raleigh Durham, you're about to have a rough day.
Yeah,
Um,
best not driving to Durham.
I
You want to
think
be looking for Raleigh.
that is correct. So I think for me, there are a couple of interesting points about this that I won't get too into because I know this is something I'm interested more so than a lot of people.
Hmm.
But this mess has started
Oh
with
yeah.
the Census Bureau, which has actually broken Raleigh into two, or has broken the Raleigh metro area into the Raleigh metro area and the Durham metro area. So the Raleigh metro area is about 1.6 million people, and the Durham metro area is about 300 or 400,000. But what this does is this actually really weakens Raleigh statistically against other similarly sized metro areas because Durham is considered its own metro, even though most people would consider Raleigh to be, or Durham to be within Raleigh's metro area. Um, and so it's really just kind of interesting, and I've learned a lot of new information about this. But the Raleigh Durham hyphen comes from people wanting to refer to the region, but because the Raleigh and Durham metro areas are technically two separate areas, um, they refer to it's you combine metro areas to get a CSA in the Census Bureau, or combined statistical area, and that is the Raleigh Durham CSA. So that's where the hyphen comes from, and that's where this whole mess started. Uh, is with the Census Bureau breaking Durham into its own metro area and turning this into the Raleigh Durham CSA. Um, and so basically, both of the towns have tried to distance each other So there's a little bit of a rivalry to distinguish one another, with most people from Raleigh claiming Durham to be profusely dangerous and a bad place to live, while most people from Durham claiming that Raleigh is a very boring place to live. And I learned that there were actually shirts that were very popular in this area a
Really?
few years ago that said, "I'd rather be shot in Durham than bored in Cary." Cary being a suburb of Raleigh.
Really, it's its own
So
city, pretty much. It's large enough to be, but
it's yes, Cary is about closing in on 200,000 people
hmm
at this point,
it's hard to
but
consider a
it is
suburb, really.
just nothing but subdivisions, and that's why
And
it's
shopping
considered
centers.
a
Yeah.
suburb.
Yeah. Honestly, Durham isn't like that bad of a place. As long as you're like
No,
not in downtown, like there are
yeah,
plenty of nice
there
parts
were
of
very
Durham.
much
My
eh,
grandparents lived there, so.
violence in Durham. Yeah, violence in Durham is very much in pockets.
hmm
And
It's
I
not
think
as exaggerated as people from Raleigh will have you believe.
no,
We promise.
no. But basically, the fight over whether this is just going to be the Raleigh metro area or that it's Raleigh Durham, there's an equal amount of outrage that for whatever reason every time Raleigh appears on one of these lists they feel the need to put Raleigh in C, even though other cities might not have their state corresponded to it, um, which
That's still a
most
bit
people
unnecessary.
argue. Yeah, and so this
Like,
is
who's
a
gonna confuse
really
Raleigh with somewhere else?
weird. Yeah, there is not another Raleigh. Um, but this is just a very weird local thing where there is a lot of controversy over what name gets attended. And I guess the fun thing I'll say that might be interesting, or at least funny to others, is that when this was announced, Durham, and you can look this up on Instagram, Durham announced this and said, "Hey, Raleigh.go," like, hey, and tagged the city of Raleigh. Looks like we're in this together. And Raleigh, and then Raleigh, the city of Raleigh made a post around the same time saying, "We're glad to be once again recognized as a great metro area by U.S. News and World Report."
Ooh.
So to me, it was funny as hell that Durham was trying to like look like very desperate and like, oh look, we're in this together, and Raleigh clearly was not having one bit of it. Uh,
Yeah.
so uh, it'll be interesting, and also there are some racial connotations as Raleigh is outrageously white, while Durham is more diverse.
hmm
So there really is just a whole lot of mess going on with whether it's hyphenated, whether it should be or whether it shouldn't be. I think for me, the one thing that's really isn't undisputed is that I think they should be one combined metro area, the Raleigh metro area.
And they probably will be
They
eventually.
they have been in the past, and that really hurts Raleigh when you talk about basically ranking it as a TV market.
hmm
So it really hurts us when we talk about appealing to major
Out of
league
metro.
sports franchises.
Yeah.
So it has some interesting consequences. And like I said, this is a mess. And I actually learned that the RDU airport, the Raleigh Durham airport,
hmm
says "Welcome to Raleigh" on it now.
Oh, does
So
it?
you continue to see that battle play out pretty much everywhere
hmm
around the region. But I guess the way it looks like is that Durham is trying to latch itself on to Raleigh as it is still a significantly smaller town or a significantly smaller city.
City, yeah.
and I think Raleigh will continue to kind of distance itself or swallow up Durham
Yep.
as time progresses.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
that's an odd tidbit of that's a hearty amount of North
that's
Carolina
probably enough
history.
North Carolina for
Yeah,
the viewers today.
I've got some entertainment. Um,
Yeah. All right.
well, I don't. It's not a ton of it's entertaining. So some Olympic highlights again. Heading back to that, the U.S.
Oh,
is
okay.
currently in second with 7 gold medals.
All right.
I think it was 15 total. We are only behind Japan.
Oh, I
So,
thought it was China that was in
um,
first. All right.
no, China is third. So
China's
right now
dropped to
it's
third. I know they came
and
out with a strong. I know China had like a strong start, but I guess they must have
well,
dropped off.
it is very early. So
Yeah.
we will just have to see how things go.
All right.
Obviously, for
Interesting.
anyone not from America, all we care about is having the most medals and the most gold medals. It does not matter what sport they are. We do not care about any of them.
As long as
We're just
America
trying to,
wins. Yeah.
yeah, if we're beating Mongolia in hoopless basketball, like it is what it is. We'll take the free gold.
Yeah. Honestly,
I've seen some
all they
weird
show
sports.
all they
They
show
have
in
shown
America is
some
just
weird
the
stuff.
events where like America is like a top competitor,
Oh, that is it. That is
which is
all
kind of
we
annoying
care
because
about.
I like oh I kind of like to watch some field hockey, but the U.S. didn't qualify, so good, you know, probably no chance
Yeah.
of that ever, that
Yeah, well, you're
happening
probably not
unless
gonna watch
the U.S. is in a
soccer
gold medal
either.
match. No one care. No, like no soccer fan cares about the Olympics. It's all about the World Cup,
That is
which
true,
is next
and
year.
it really
Hey,
it is. And one of the greatest countries in the world. Am I right?
where's it happening again? Russia?
Qatar.
Qatar. Oh,
You don't
yeah.
remember that disaster?
I do remember this. And there are a bunch of countries protesting and shit.
Yeah,
Uh,
it is. It is
it's gonna be
rough.
interesting.
I heard the other day that 6,000 workers uh, from other countries that Qatar kind of brought over to build the stadium. 6,000 people died building the stadiums.
Ugh. That's
6,000.
that's a little rough.
Yeah, so in other news, it better be good. Am I
Sure, that's one way to look at it.
right?
Uh,
For reference, that is not the way we really feel. That is
no.
horrible, and
That's what the
we are
fuck,
not
Qatar.
huge
No wonder
fans of
so many
Qatar.
countries are protesting. Like, what the
Yeah,
actual hell?
yeah. They also allegedly did like somewhat slave labor. So it was rough. It sounded muy malo. It was bad.
Alright.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's why people are protesting. Anyway, back to the Olympics. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We'll deal
What
with
other
that when the
Olympic
time
highlights you
comes.
got?
We'll deal with the time comes. Oh, and the other one was men's basketball.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Um,
Getting
oh, would you look at
shit
that?
on.
Getting eaten
Get
out by
shit
France.
on. Get
That's
shit
uh,
on.
you're trash. Anyway,
uh,
um,
I've got some
I,
Twitter news from this week because there's always fun stuff on
ooh,
Twitter. There's always
I've got
something on
some.
Twitter. Not the
Yeah, all
greatest news
my
source,
music
but
from here on out. I would argue that it is, but all my stuff from here on out is music news. Just to
yeah.
to give you a heads up.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with there's this Twitter account, Greg. I'm not I'm not
Okay,
sure what his
I've met a
username
few
is, but
Gregs.
it's Greg on
This could be
Twitter.
one of them.
He's trying to become the number one Greg on Google. Basically, if you go into Google and just search up the name Greg and then go
Okay.
to Google Images, he's trying to get his profile pic as like the number one spot. It should be like the first thing that shows up on Google when you Google Greg. And earlier this
I
week, he
like this.
accomplished it.
Ooh.
I don't know if it's still number one, but like go to Google Images, uh, search up Greg, and his profile pic should probably be in like the first row. You'll probably be able to tell which one is his. Uh,
Okay, I'm scared. I feel like this is a prank. I had another friend do this, and I
it's
wound
not
up
a no,
staring at
it's not a.
images of Peppa the Pig's penis.
That's nope, nope. Uh, 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 no, no, that's not what this is. Um, anyways,
I've got it. Yeah, it's
you found
Greg
it.
Ashman. Oh yeah, I do. He's
Wait,
up
oh,
there.
Greg Ashman? No, that's not it. There's
Oh,
another Greg
it's
on
a
Twitter.
Twitter doc. Oh gosh. Oh, I found it. Oh, I found it. I know exactly. Greg on Twitter.
Greg on
Does
Twitter.
this man have red hair with the world's longest nose, the world's smallest mouth? This man out here looking like
That's
my
it.
me. This is.
uh,
Oh my
hold up.
goodness.
Let me.
I've never
I'm gonna
seen
quit
a
the
man that.
game real
A
quick.
man needs a pair of tweezers. Desperate, down horrendous for tweezers.
This is what we're talking about. If this isn't one of just the greatest like profile pictures.
Yeah, honestly, to
Honestly,
me, this dude
people on
strikes
Twitter
me
have
with
some
the
wild
energy.
profile pictures. This is
Yeah, to me, I know this man's life story is that at a his fifth birthday party, he he let go of a balloon that he was holding on to, and he never got over it.
yikes.
He always lives with that sorrow of knowing that he lost what means most to him. That's who Greg is.
It's a
I think a
tragic
lot of
story
us
for
are.
Greg.
I think a lot of us are Greg.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of us have lost the thing that means the most to us, and we'll spend the rest of our lives in sorrow, staring blankly at those who seek the same.
This got dark real fast.
Yeah, sorry about that. You know,
Let's
it just happened. I
my
think honestly
other
we
bit of
can
Twitter
probably get
news.
some joy out of it. I see a bunch of really interesting Greg profile pictures.
Yeah. Well, my other
I
Twitter
see a very
news.
large man in a Hawaiian shirt that looks interesting. We'll
Yeah, I
continue.
saw that too. Earlier this week, I saw there was a video
Uh oh.
that surfaced on Twitter,
This better be different
um,
than the last video that surfaced on Twitter that you showed
featuring.
me.
I'm sure you're familiar with Tucker Carlson. He's a Fox
Oh,
News anchor.
I'm familiar with Tucker
A,
Carlson.
a video surfaced earlier this week of a Montana man calling Tucker Carlson the worst human being known to mankind.
Oh
This
no.
video surfaced
I
because
bet
this
he
Montana man
I
said
bet
it
he
to Tucker
loved that.
Carlson's face.
Oh wow.
They were in a like sporting goods store in Montana. I'm not sure what the setup is, but there was a clip that people were praising this Montana man for because he called Tucker Carlson the worst human being known to mankind, which is a bit of an exaggeration. I took a history class once and I learned there were some pretty bad people out there.
Hey,
Uh,
hey, you never know them until you've been in their shoes.
but Tucker Carlson uh, Tucker Carlson is not exactly popular with the left, and well, like he's conservative even for Fox News,
That
and
is
that's
true.
saying something. Um,
That is.
anyways, but yeah, I thought that was interesting, and Tucker Carlson, he was just he's like, oh, I'm not here to argue with you, mostly because I feel like he knows either A, as a public figure, he can't really do anything, or B, even if he did try to pull something, this man's like, half a foot taller and 100 pounds heavier, and he would have rocked Tucker's shit.
Yeah, honestly, no one
Absolutely.
that like sees you from across the bar and is like, you know what? You might be the worst human on earth. you're not fighting that man. You've already lost.
Hmm.
To me, like I love that was a complete surprise interaction. Like he was hiding out in Montana just so that he could get a sense of like the home team, you know, and then
Hmm.
just
I thought
out of
Montana was a pretty
nowhere.
conservative state.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like he was there just so that he was like, all right, oh, thank goodness I'm safe. And then just out of nowhere, he's just. Where do you say it was? A supermarket?
It was a sporting goods store.
A
Let's see.
sporting
Yep,
goods store?
they voted red in the last election.
Oh, they voted red in every election. It's
Okay,
Montana.
I was to say
Its
I was
its
just
name is
making
like the Big
sure.
Sky State or something.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Montana? Everything is like 3 hours away.
No, I've heard it's terrible. I've heard all the people there are crazy.
I don't.
Uh,
I mean, everyone we met there was pretty nice, and it's a beautiful state.
I'm sure it
It's
is.
just the people that live there are either fly fishermen or serial killers.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. That's just
Yeah.
I don't
Sh-
make the rules.
Shridash says it was a cringe video. That it was a bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is
I
a
mean, it
cringe
could have.
video?
I mean, it was a bit cringe. I'll give it that.
No,
Although,
no,
to be fair, anything that the left supports is usually a bit cringe. That's why liberals are such a meme. But,
that is true.
uh,
I don't know. I feel like Tucker
anyways.
Carlson is a meme too,
But on
so
the
it's
other,
they kind of balance each other out.
that's true. So I don't know. On one hand, liberals. On the other hand, Tucker Carlson. You're in a lose-lose situation. I
It's
mean,
a big lose-lose situation right there.
uh, anyways, that's all I really have for news, other than the Jordan 36 was revealed, and I don't think anyone really cares.
Uh,
Uh,
well, I can tell you, my dad definitely
I'm sure your dad
definitely
cares.
cares.
He loves that kind
He
of stuff.
loves just random weird ass new Jordans. So there's always somebody. You never know. I don't know. It's just different, different shoes for different people, I guess. But anyway, dude, I just looked down and I still got all these different Gregs just staring up at me and stuff. I'm
Just a
just
wall,
staring at, just
the wall
staring,
of
dude. I gotta
Greg.
do that more often. I just gotta just look up random names for entertainment on Google, just see what kind of Amy's I can
See
find
what's the
today.
first.
Just you never know what kind of day you're gonna have.
Wake up on a Thursday. Today feels like a Ronald kind of day.
Oh, I like the Ronald kind of day.
Uh, anyways, yeah, and I also heard that Texas and Oklahoma might be leaving the Big 12. That's some more
Oh,
sports
I
news.
did hear that.
Um,
Yeah,
kind of a big
that'll
deal
be
for American college
that'll be
sports,
interesting.
at
Yeah,
least
it's
after
kind
2025.
of an awkward moment for because they're
Because if they're leaving the Big
um
12, you
yeah
can't call yourself the Big
um
10 because there's already a Big 10. Also, they're two of the founding
yeah,
members. So what are you going to call yourself?
the biggest losers.
Yeah, that works.
I like it. I don't know. Better than the Washington football team or the
They,
Cleveland
they really,
Guardians,
I'm
which we didn't
surprised.
talk about.
Wait, what?
You didn't hear about this?
Did they change? Did they add? I mean, I knew
They
they were thinking about
renamed
it.
the Cleveland Indians the Cleveland Guardians.
They were originally an amateur men's roller derby team.
What?
The original Cleveland Guardians, according to
What?
Yahoo Sports. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Oh, I love roller derby.
I, I'm not talking about roller derby. I'm talking about the Guardians. You couldn't come up with anything better. I mean, the Washington football team's got so many great, like, awesome proposals for what their team name should be. The Red Tails, the code talkers. Like I'm really down for some of these like
Oh,
suggestions
the
that have been
Red
put
Tails
to
is sick, bro.
the red
Red
tail, a
Tails?
reference to the Tuskegee Airmen,
Mm-hmm.
which would be awesome. And then like Navajo Nation put forth the code talkers, which I'm also a huge fan of.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Everybody read that book in middle school.
mhm. Oh yeah. Anyways, but really the Guardians, that's all you could come up with. That's a bit underwhelming.
Is a lackluster showing for me as well.
Yeah. Um, which what else you got for news? Because I'm pretty much out.
All right. Well, I've got
Move on to
musical
discussion
news
topics.
for you, and I'll go ahead and warn you that I might have had a little bit too much fun scooping this stuff up. But basically, I found what I think might be just the lowest effort feature I've or the hardest I've ever seen someone try and ride a feature on a song to success. So for those of you that are not super familiar with kind of how some parts of the industry go, if you're an unknown artist, it's pretty common for you to hire uh, or pay a much more well-known artist
Mm-hmm.
um, to for a feature on your song, so that they appear on your song as well to get a lot of new people plugged into your music.
Seems legit.
Um, yeah, so this is pretty common practice, and the more you think about it, the more it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Um, However, every now and then, and it's typically common for the featured artists, especially if they're much more famous. It's common for them to outperform the artist whose song it is.
Oh yeah. Naturally.
However, uh, Drake was recently featured on a song that has kind of stirred
Oh
up,
no.
and it's becoming popular
Oh no.
because the artist whose actual song it is
Noticeably better.
noticeably worse. Like, almost
Oh.
the song is unbearable because they are so bad that people are just trying to wince through the pain of his words because the Drake verses are heat and the beats heat.
Really?
So I've written down some things. These are real
Actual
verses
bars?
of this person who probably cost several $100,000 to be
Several
featured on
hundred
this song.
thousand dollars just so everyone knows to never listen to your music again. That's
Yeah.
it's tough.
So here are the words that this artist has put forward.
Okay.
Opening verse. So this is the first thing you hear. Prada and Gucci, it don't go together. Louis and Dior, I swear it go better. He wear my drip, but I wear it better. Kalani gang, I swear it go wetter.
Huh?
So I, that's the first thing you hear.
We got ourselves a real Playboy Cardi over here, don't we?
So no, because you can actually hear what he's saying. But Prada and Gucci don't go together. Louis and Dior, I swear it go better. That's a line that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like that, you think about it. You're talking about, oh, designer brands don't mix, and the then you mix two designer brands and it makes sense. He wear my drip, but I wear it better?
What?
It's rough. It's bad. It's bad. And if you think that's bad, here's the second verse. I'm in control of the block. You know how October get hot. Might make this glizzy go pop. The crib is over the top. The whip is over the top. I thought about letting her go, but I was in over the top.
When does the song start? Because this is some hot garbage.
That that's the like leading into the chorus. Like the song is called Over the Top.
This is terrible.
It's rough.
Like,
I mean, he rhymed block with hot with pop. I just and so we can all admit that it's bad. There's no room for discussion
this
there.
is this is
Okay, it
tragically
is.
terrible.
This is we could sit down in an afternoon and write a better song than this man.
I could sit down in 5 minutes and have better
Yeah.
bars than this guy.
Yes. Yes. So that's
And
really
I'm
not.
white.
Yeah, that is true, and I think it's
Uh,
also important to emphasize that this man is saying everything in the tone of like a 13-year-old imitating like a sex voice or something. It's hard to, it's like a strained, high pitch, kind of like nasally
it's just awkward.
bad. Bad, like, yeah, awkward, I think is a better way to put it. So, just not only are, are bars bad, delivery's bad, vocals are bad, just a rough song. And so I guess the conversation that I wanted to have, and I don't know how in depth we want to get into this, but I think it raises an interesting point in that, like, to what degree can you just buy yourself into success with these features?
Well,
Because
that's
it seems like there's definitely the potential for, and obviously this is an extreme case where it didn't work, but the fact that it got close to working
well in
points out
any
how. Hmm.
in any like, I guess, not even just music, just in any like profession. How much can you buy yourself into success? To what degree?
Mm, yeah.
Because recently, I don't know, most of you probably don't follow Formula One, uh, but there's a driver who's joined the Haas team, which is the American racing team, named Nikita Mazepin, and he's a bit infamous right now because he's terrible. Like, he's a terrible driver. He doesn't belong in F1. I mean, obviously he's good because he's in F1, but he's like, he doesn't belong with the competition, and
It's just
he's
out of that
he's
category.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's completely outclassed. Um, Now the reason he is in uh Formula One is because his father is Dmitry Mazepin, who is a Russian oligarch and
Oh.
majority
Oh.
shareholder of Uralchem
Oh.
Integrated Chemicals Company. This man, he's a
Oh no.
billionaire. His father is a billionaire, worth like
Oh no.
$10 billion. Basically, his
Oh
father
my
paid for him to be
goodness.
in F1, essentially, and yeah, so essentially you can pretty much buy yourself into success. You can do it in Formula One, you can do it in
Interesting.
music. Uh,
I just love the idea of just this man worth $10 billion, just
This
hoping that his
Russian
son's gonna
oligarch.
outlive his. Yeah, he has spent his life amassing through just the harshest environment possible. He has spent his lifetime amassing a fortune and a reputation and a stature in the in the Russian circle of oligarchs, and then he just pops out a son and he rejoices knowing that he'll finally have an heir to carry on his empire. And all this dude does is just he'll never shut up about wanting to go fast. Just imagine the dismay on this man's face.
I can imagine.
I just I don't know. I I guess the argument I always made is like how do you not feel ashamed of knowing you don't deserve to be there? Because I know a lot of people that suffer from imposter syndrome, where you deserve to be in a place,
And you
but
don't
you
feel
feel
like you
like you
do.
don't. I feel like a lot of people when they go into college and into the workforce struggle with that.
Hmm. And
How do
I
you
know
not?
exactly
Yeah, how do
how
you
that
not
feels.
feel bad about you don't deserve to be there?
And I mean, there's other qualifications to get into F1
There
other
are,
than just
obviously.
money.
Yeah,
You have to do well
there's
in Formula
stress,
2
there's
for one.
physical endurance, there's stamina, there's
So
just a lot of
obviously he is
factors at
a
play.
good driver because otherwise he wouldn't be in Formula 1, but he is not a driver to the same extent that these other drivers are.
There are other people working harder that would be better suited for his job, but don't have the connection to the money.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing, but I definitely feel like, particularly with the rap, it just struck me because it is such a pay to play system.
Yeah.
Mm.
It certainly seems that way. Anyways, uh what else? What else we got?
I can
Um,
see. Oh, I do have some more
let's see.
interesting tidbits here. Um, so Kanye is reportedly living in Mercedes Benz. We've got a lot of Kanye news actually that we've glossed
Oh,
over. So for those of you that were following along, his
dang.
latest album Donda was
Actually, you know what? I did hear
supposedly,
about that.
yeah. So his latest album Donda was supposedly set to release last Friday at midnight. Um, And for those anyone following Kanye for some period of time knows that he's rather infamous for not dropping an album. He said he was going to drop, and said the I foregoer. Um, I don't know if you saw that. There's kind of a meme about him, almost like saying I forgot about the album had gained some popularity.
I'm not familiar, but okay.
Okay, well that became a bit of a meme, and so I think that was kind of happening, and there was just a good amount of backlash because he said or had announced and hosted a listening party where he sold out Mercedes Benz um, to show people or to listen to the album, but it turned out that was unfinished snippets of the album. And he really didn't drop the album, and he is supposedly now living in Mercedes-Benz Stadium to finish it. That he was inspired by the crowd there, and he now has found like a living quarters. They've made a studio, so he is now living underneath the stadium, and has been like randomly turning up at like Mercedes-Benz events, like emerging from his lair or
This is
whatever.
wild. Although, you
This
know what?
is
It's
a
Kanye.
turn.
I shouldn't be
This is
surprised at this point.
peak. This is peak Kanye. So I think it's interesting because it did kind of raise a good amount of backlash, and I saw a good amount of people that are not, anyone that's not Kanye's diehard fans is really kind of like, all right, guys, how often are we gonna reward someone who consistently doesn't deliver what we want and doesn't deliver it when he said he would? Uh,
Yeah.
so I think it's started to open up the debate of like, is it time to call Kanye done? Is it time
I
to
feel
say that
like
maybe he's in the fall off era here?
I really, really.
I just
I felt like he's been in a fall off era for the past 10 years.
two albums at least.
Like he's like you guys remember I Love It, right? You guys remember Shoop Doo Whoop, right? Like
Scoop deep boop. Scoop deep boop.
Salah, like we're not gonna pretend the whole like Jesus
Whoa,
is
whoa,
king
whoa, whoa,
out. I
whoa. Do
mean,
not throw
I'm not
Salah
gonna.
in with that. That was a fire song. We are not going to
No,
throw
okay,
that in
never
with all of
mind.
this
Salah
garbage.
Salah was fine. Salah was
You're
fine.
not going to throw
Jesus is
that
king
in
was,
with.
but Jesus is king was a weird album. It was a
It was a weird
really weird
album, and it
album.
was especially weird for it to come from Kanye.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we honestly don't reflect back on the fact that that man hosted church services in the desert. Do we
Yeah.
forget about
I
that?
don't know. It was just a weird album. I'm okay with Jesus Walks, but like the whole Jesus is King album is just a little weird for me.
Well, and especially to see kind of the duality of him go from that to like, in my dark twisted fantasy, just to open up a song with, I think I just fell in love with a porn star. You're just like, okay, so is this like a Jesus interlude here? Like what? Like I just feel like every now and then you can get caught in some like how serious is he about something?
Mhm.
I thought we were talking about like carrying the mantle all the way up and doing shelves.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do that fireplace. Um,
Yeah, I got you.
give me a second.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
There.
Like the pantry.
Thank you. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna store some odds and ends in there for fun.
All right, I think I might do the same. Let's see what else we got.
I did like it. I see the potential.
Other than
Yeah, that is
Kanye's up to his usual
about the
antics.
about the end of it. He's typically is, and I mean, part of me wonders how long it'll sustain itself. I really wonder uh, how long are people gonna be fans of, of just Kanye being Kanye? Because I feel like as this
Yeah, that'd
personality and his
be
music becomes more and more niche, it's
like that'd be a question. How
where does
much
this
can
go?
Kanye get away with and still be considered one of the greats?
Yeah. Well, I think you see it with a number of people like Nas, and like Eminem, where they keep releasing music and it kind of continues to taint, in a sense, their
Yeah,
reputation.
yeah, and I know like I've always had a great deal of respect for Eminem. I've always considered him one of the greats, considering
Hmm.
how influential he is, how iconic his story is, just the absolute massive number of hit songs he's had. Um, but the longer he releases music, I mean, I know he doesn't consider himself. I know he considers that part of his core identity, but and maybe he's not concerned with going down as one of the greatest of all time. Which, if that's the case,
Well, I can tell you the fact that it's not clear in his music whether he cares or not shows to me that like it's not clear to him what's important or not. I I think for him what I've seen is that he feels like he has earned more respect than he's given. I think that's part of why he still releases music, is he feels like part of him, should have more should should just I don't know how to phrase it. He should have more respect in the rap community than he's been given, and so he's trying to prove that, but I don't know.
hmm.
We're obviously just gonna have to see.
Anyways, uh, let's keep on moving with these discussion topics. I
Uh,
saw just an absolutely horrible thing today.
Oh,
I believe the company of Coca-Cola has really crossed a line with this one.
oh no.
Um, what do you consider to be the worst atrocity of the products that Coca-Cola has come out with? Gray.
New Coke.
New Coke?
New Coke. It's like the textbook, like the most legendary marketing failure of all time.
The New Coke. April
Are you not
1985.
familiar with
Interesting.
this disaster?
No.
They reworked the formula. They made a huge deal of it, and everyone hated it, and it was
Interesting.
it was a terrible disaster. Like it
All right.
ruined just their reputation, and to this day, every bottle of Coca-Cola that you will ever purchase says original Coca-Cola on it.
All right. Well, this might not be as big of a deal as that.
Oh,
Uh,
alright.
Coca-Cola and coffee.
Say that again.
Coca-Cola with coffee in the same can.
I would, oh,
I took a picture of it. They have
oh,
a caramel flavor, and
oh,
they have a dark roast and a
oh,
medium roast,
oh.
and I think they had a vanilla flavor too.
Good night.
This is an atrocity. This is
This is bad. I really thought it was gonna be something minor after you're like, oh, it's not that bad.
oh,
This is rough.
this is
I am upset. I am unhappy.
why does this exist? Who
This is
considered this a good idea?
who did
I
this
kind
is
of
a
want to buy a can
great.
just so I can, maybe if we are making a vlog, maybe I'll buy a can for the vlog and try it and just let everybody know what
I
our honest
think
opinion is.
he,
That might
I
be, a food review where we buy like one of each flavor and we tell people, what the verdict is. Which one is
I like
is
that.
the least shit?
What if we like we really did like a food review where okay.
I
I
would
think
love to
that's an
do like
idea.
a I'd
We'll
love to
run
do
with
like a
that.
food review where I like
I
I
think we
do
can
a
run
tier
with
list
that.
of like all the Mountain Dew flavors. That'd be fun.
I like it. I
But
really
anyways,
do.
but that might be if we decide to do it in an upcoming vlog.
Oh yeah.
Basically, all right. We were planning on taking a trip this weekend. But I didn't
That
know
is
we were
well
we were planning on
we
making
are
a
planning it.
well, we are planning a trip this weekend. Although I didn't know we were considering
To an
making a vlog.
undisclosed location.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Um, I didn't know we were planning on making a vlog for it. But anyways, what a terrible drink idea. Do you drink it hot or cold? I believe it
Oh
was
no,
sold
they're both
at
wrong.
room
Uh,
temperature, but
oh my god. Oh my god.
I I,
Can you imagine
I
the
can't.
depths of hell that you have to be in to be like, hey, hand me the Coke coffee and just drink just the pain of death. Who reaches
Let
for
me
this?
let me.
These are the same people that mix vodka and Red Bull.
Oh, I was
These
right.
are
They do have a vanilla. Uh,
I
right now
I
I'm
don't
on
hate the
Walmart's
vanilla
website.
flavor.
You can get a 4 count of Coke with coffee, dark blend.
They literally
Uh,
just call it Coke with coffee.
it's called Coke with coffee.
Oh my
Uh,
gosh. Oh Lord.
Great Coca-Cola taste blended with rich, luxurious coffee. That's what it says on the box.
Luxurious? That's the wrong
Luxurious
adjective.
coffee.
You've got $1 billion marketing department. They come up with luxurious. Let me tell you something. Never once in my life have I wanted
I
to
have
have
no idea
luxurious coffee.
if I'm supposed to
What does luxurious
refrigerate
coffee
this.
taste like? This has got to be a prank. There's just no way. I
Do you
refuse.
drink this
I'm
refrigerated? I
looking
mean,
it
it
up
comes in
right
a
now.
can, so I'm assuming you drink this refrigerated. I took a photo of it. I was in
I
disbelief.
imagine
This is
this
an
to me.
absolutely horrible idea. I'm in complete agreement with Shreedashay. It's an absolutely terrible drink idea. Who
Oh, the
sniffed too much
can
crack
looks
at the Coke
rough.
headquarters? I mean, it's a brown that fades into the Coca-Cola red. But this is absolutely, I mean, terrible. This is
Oh, and it's
horrible.
expensive.
Yeah, it's like $6 for a 4 pack
Okay,
for
wait. I
four
found a review
cans.
that says I drank all three flavors, so you don't have to.
No, we can't do that. We have to try it for ourselves. That's the
That's
whole fun of the
true.
review. All right. I'm gonna put a boat in one of these chests. We're not getting as much done today as we should be doing.
That's true.
Mostly because
We gotta keep
I'm
going with the interior.
really hung up on this fireplace. I have no idea what I want to do.
Oh, I'm not liking the
Maybe
bars at all. Not liking the bars at all.
you're not liking the little like grate.
No, no.
Interesting. So
I don't know
I
why.
was really vibing with that. I thought that looked
It
all right.
can you do like this stairs, like going and out, like kind of narrowing and then going back up to the ceiling? Because I want it to feel
Yeah.
substantial. Like I feel like earlier it narrowed too quickly. Okay, okay.
Like that's all right.
And put a thing of solid blocks on top of it.
Of solid blocks on top.
Yeah, solid like mixed brick stuff. Maybe
Slabs? Or
no, do stairs that taper in. So like the middle
say
one is a solid
I
block. No, no, no. The middle one's solid block, and then the stairs taper in
yeah,
from the sides.
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Actually. Boom.
I don't.
So I was trying to go for something slightly different from what I've got in my
I like this. I don't like. I don't know what that is.
no.
Maybe if you had a
I don't know.
shelf.
I'm kind of okay with the stair.
I'll be honest, it's a little too much for me.
Same
I'm not a
idea.
huge
All
fan.
right. All right. We'll just go back to
I don't
October.
mind
I
having
mean,
the
I think I
similarly.
mind that. I don't mind that. I don't know. There's just something that seems off about this. I don't know why this seems off when all the other fireplaces were easy. Maybe it's because I was able to work with a deeper
We
space.
might have to just
Two blocks
plan
of
out.
wood.
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
potentially it might be easier to just outline it in brick, like just straight brick blocks for now. And because we know that we want shelving to the
Oh,
side, so potentially we can just. Oh yeah, that was close. Potentially you can just do it in kind of brick blocks, and then we'll have the shelves on the side, and we'll decorate the walls, and then we'll see what it looks like.
I kind of like that.
I also like that.
I wish it wasn't like smoking. Maybe you know what? Actually,
Oh, getting rid of the fire entirely.
I'll be right back. Do you have any flint and steel on you, by the way?
Oh no, definitely not.
Okay. All right. Well, then let me make a quick trip to the basement. Forget the campfire. I'm just gonna straight make this an actual fireplace. All right.
Okay, so
Boom.
we'll just have to see. Had to see how this Coke with coffee.
I'm not looking forward to it, but you know.
I am. I look forward to the pain. All right, that's where I dwell right here. Oh, as a random bit of shoe news, I feel like we should do a little shout out uh,
Okay.
to anyone that might be involved with Nike. Please burn whatever you have made for the cool gray 11s and bring back the
Oh yeah.
original real cool gray
Bray
11s.
really hates the new
Is
Cool Gray
a
11s that they're releasing.
desperate plea, a desperate plea not to release the Fubu 11s. I do not, I do not need that negative energy in my life.
Made a netherrack fireplace recently and it burnt my house down. Yeah, I'm a bit
Oh
concerned
no.
about that. The only thing is
Hey
we
bro,
have
what you
wooden
doing?
floors.
Sir, what you doing? What is it, you're burning down our house?
Not intentionally, if it does happen. Um,
Ooh, I found a
let's
fire
see.
New Balance collab. The Todd Snyder New Balance 327 Farmers Market pack.
The farmers market pack. Okay. All right. Let me know if you see anything that starts catching fire in here.
Yeah, what's talking? Why is this gonna set us our stuff on fire
Because
here?
it's an actual. Yep. Okay. Never mind. Never mind.
Did it did it burn
It
something?
it, it was it caught the block up here on fire. So never mind. I guess we're going straight back to the campfire.
Back to the campfire, baby.
Yeah. Which isn't bad. It generates so much smoke.
It does.
Um, we could just do an unlit campfire.
No, no, it's gonna be lit.
Okay. All right, we gotta make sure everything is lit up in here.
We just support the nice. You know how
Yeah.
particular I get about my fireplaces.
Oh yeah. Gray loves a nice lit fire.
I do.
Okay.
And I prefer to keep them lit for
Mm-hmm.
until the work is done.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, where's our next conversation topic other than the absolutely atrocious Coke with coffee? Um, oh
Oh, I thought
yes.
we were talking about other
I was
atrocities.
really excited to talk about this last week. I'm disappointed we didn't. I
Oh,
had a revelation, I guess you could
oh,
say,
okay. I'm
regarding
excited now.
the acting career of
Oh
one
no.
Anthony Mackie.
Oh, okay.
Um,
All right, I'm
I,
interested.
for some reason, funny how we were talking
Hmm?
about Eminem earlier. For some reason, I was thinking of the movie 8 Mile in the shower and the final, rap battle from that movie,
Wait,
which is
whoa, whoa,
absolutely
whoa, pause,
fantastic.
pause, pause,
What?
pause. You were thinking about the movie 8 Mile in the shower?
Yeah, no, shower thoughts.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Speaking of
anyways,
which, if any little kids are listening, look up Industry Baby. There's a fun scene that teaches you how to shower.
oh no, nope. I wouldn't listen to him if I were you, kids. But I was thinking about the final rap battle from the movie 8 Mile, and I realized that Papa Doc is played by Anthony Mackie. Like it just hit me.
Interesting. This would probably hit me way harder if I'd seen the movie 8 Mile.
He's basically the final rapper that Eminem's character has to go up against. He's supposedly like the reigning like rap champion, but I thought it was weird. It since the movie 8 Mile came out in what 2002? Yeah, 2002, which means Anthony Mackie
Wait,
has
is
been
Anthony
acting.
Mackie old?
That was Anthony Mackie's debut film. That was the
Oh
first film
wow,
he ever acted in. He's been acting for 20 years. And I started
wow.
looking at some of at his filmography. So other than 8 Mile, he's got Manchurian Candidate, The Hurt
Wait,
Locker.
whoa, 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 whoa. What was he in? I just watched Manchurian
He
Candidate.
was
What
in
was?
Manchurian Candidate. Hold on.
Well,
Um,
okay.
let's see. Who did he play? Um, go, show me the full cast. Um, it might not have been anywhere or anyone super significant. Robert Baker.
Interesting.
He played Robert Baker in, which was
I feel like I remember his
apparently,
character now.
anyways. But he was in Manchurian Candidate, The Hurt Locker, Brother to Brother. Apparently, he was an Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Um,
Oh Lord, that's a mistake.
he was in Detroit, Million Dollar Baby.
Wait, are you,
He completed his
okay.
kind of rap biofilm duo because he was in Notorious. Uh,
This is impressive.
he has an impressive filmography. I had no idea that Anthony Mackie has been acting as long as he has. And so my respect for Anthony Mackie has doubled,
He's been putting in the work.
which
He's
is
been putting in the work.
a hard thing to say because I already really liked Anthony Mackie. I'll be honest. He seems like a really chill guy to be around. He seems like a really fun personality. So,
He
anyways,
really does. He really does. I enjoy the repertoire between like him and some of the other Marvel cast
say
members.
I agree with some people that it's
He
kind of weird that
definitely gives me
they've
huge Will
turned.
Smith vibes.
Yeah, it's weird that they kind
Huge
of
Will Smith
turned his
vibes.
character into kind of like this, woke Captain America, I guess. Uh,
Yeah, I
or they
don't
made his
think.
character woke. I thought that was a bit of a weird choice.
I
It doesn't fit
agree.
like
I
his
don't think it suits
personality
him.
very well. But other
Agree.
than that, I mean, I think he'd be an awesome guy to like hang out with for a day.
That's true. Wait, why only a day?
I don't know.
Oh, I forgot about your rule. You don't like spending nights with those people?
What does that have to do with anything?
I
What
just I
people?
forgot about one of our
Which people?
earlier conversations. Well, I you didn't want me to tell anybody. Remember, this is one of our private conversations. This was one of the ones where you're like, you're not wearing a wire again, are you?
uh,
I just
Wait,
I just
again.
remembered you.
When were you wearing the
Yeah.
wire the first time? Remind me
No, I
again.
must have been I must have been thinking about something else. That's my bad. As,
How frequently do you wear a
just
wire, Gray?
I don't
What are you
I
telling the
don't
government?
look. No, it's not the government. Um, I I've made a few trips to visit my family in Argentina. And
Made a few more
unfortunately,
trips to Guantanamo Bay.
well, no. I got mixed up with some interesting people. If you remember my $15,000 that of money that I won in the free COVID giveaway.
Oh, I remember
That I
that.
did not, yeah, I did not enter, but I was, automatically entered in, and I won. And then, as I was giving them the information they needed, my bank account was hacked, and they took all my money, and I was able to actually trace that person to a small village outside of Bogota, Colombia. And so I figured I'd
Interesting.
just stop there on the way uh, to visit my family in Argentina, and I would get my money, and then I'd head out, and I got mixed up with some very large men with some very large tattoos, um,
Okay.
and it just
So you work for drug lords, is what you said.
no, 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 no. Look, I
So
am not gonna say anything about the
pharmaceutical professionals.
what I do on my free time, and all I'll say is that I just there are times that I've got to do favors for some of my other friends, and those might be doing something like wearing a wire. That might be something like transporting just supply and distribution. That could be sexual favors, just whatever,
Stand your tune.
whatever. Yeah, I'm not proud. I mean, it's honestly humbling to kind of come to you with this, but just be careful if you ever go to Colombia.
All right.
I don't know. But they
Uh,
said that once I do, once I fulfill my duty, then they'll give me my 15 grand back. That was that was kind of how we started talking. I was like, I lost $15,000. Can you help me find it? And they were like, Oh, we have it. You just gotta earn it.
okay. Nice.
And
Well,
so
good that you're getting
yeah,
your
so
money finally.
yeah. So once I'm done working for them for a few years, I'll have my money.
All right. Let's see. Since we were sort of talking about Captain America and Marvel films, um, I just the first Captain America movie. I need you to explain your fascination with that film to me one more time, because I just don't understand.
Oh, did you rewatch it?
I like it came on the other like I came home from work the other day and my dad was watching it, and just like I enjoy it. It's a fun movie. I enjoy it mostly because I've always liked Captain America as one of like my favorite Avengers. But I just other than that, I'm not sure I see what you find so captivating about this film because viewers remember Gray considered the first Captain America movie to be like
Yeah.
as top of S tier. He considers it like the greatest Marvel film they ever made or they have made to date. Um,
Yes.
and I
Well,
just
I
I
think an
don't.
important aspect of that for me is that it's an enjoyable standalone movie, which I don't feel a lot of Marvel films are. And then
Okay.
I think the other aspect for me is that I feel like that movie is just has enough likable characters in it where it doesn't feel like a traditional superhero movie that is dominated by a specific character and their character arc. I am not a fan of superhero movies that are very basic and here's the character, here's their single character arc, and that's the basis for the movie. It's the problem I have with a lot of DC movies where they're just too one-dimensional in the sense that there's very little going on in the periphery of the movie. So for me to have, a movie with some real stake, I mean, people actually die in that movie that matter. Like to have some stakes. Really, I just have a weakness for Tommy Lee Jones' character in that
Let's say
movie.
I will give you
I have
that.
a
Tommy Lee
weakness for the
Jones
fact,
is always fantastic, and his character
yes.
is still phenomenal.
And I think Chris Evans suits the role really well.
Hmm.
For me, I just really love just capturing that time period, and I love how it really does a great job of setting up really just the first cutscene in in Marvel, where you kind of introducing the the
Bless you.
oh, excuse me, the Shield universe, the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So for me,
Hmm.
that's why it's a little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of favoritism towards some of the characters, and a lot of it to me is that they're good standalone movies that don't rely too much on typical superhero movie tropes.
Hmm. I guess that's fair because it does feel more like as much of a war movie as it does
Yes,
a superhero movie.
yes, but it definitely still feels like a superhero movie.
Yeah. Like I understand why you like it. I just never felt like it was like critically that like great of a film. I don't know why.
Yeah, and I guess that's how I am about some of the other movies, like a lot of the Avengers movies. To me, I feel like were just action and then occasional comic relief. There wasn't anything shockingly special for me.
Hmm.
That's just me, and that's I guess the best attempt I have at an explanation.
Yeah.
But
All
I
right.
guess this is it's time to start wrapping things up. So
Is
hopefully
it?
I
I don't know.
added
I feel
some.
like we accomplished very little on today's stream.
That is
It's a bit tragic. I
is
spent a lot of time
true.
running around trying to, you know, get stuff, get materials. Um,
Well, we do have a decor here, and then if you hop out here, you'll see that we have completed our wall all
well,
the way
yeah, that's what
around
Gray
on
has
this
been working
side,
on. Gray's been working on this wall
and then
somewhat.
the wall is all the way
Not quite on
around.
this side yet, but
Well, we agreed that that side was going to stay open for the balcony
yeah. Well, we'll
out
still we'll
there.
still have to fill in the wall, but for the most part, filled in. Few things here and there, but uh, looking pretty good so far. And then over here, this is where we can have like a little cutout, and this will lead into our, I guess, lead into, I don't know, like a secret room or something. I think there'll be like a secret room that'll be led into through this little side jut out. But anyways, I think that's the current plan. I'm trying to think if
Alright.
there's anything. I guess we really should have prepared a little bit better for tonight's stream, but hopefully we can get
Well,
things
I
done by
feel
the
like we
next
got
one.
decent amount of stuff done. We made a touch of progress, so
Yeah.
at least we got that.
There's still like more details that I want to add. I feel like I do
Oh
most of
yeah.
that off stream. I don't know if you guys, let's say, you guys might remember the stream where we did the top floor. I came back and added like a few details here and there, uh, to just really polish things up. Um, Still haven't done the bathroom up here. I need to do that. But anyways, all right. I guess it is getting close to time. And thank you, Shrita Shay.
Oh yeah.
Glad you like the looks of things in here. I'll go ahead and save and quit, I guess. Um, Dang, I've come up with so many discussion topics over the past couple weeks. Um, Anyways, I guess I'll give a shout out to my boy Matt Swider on Twitter. If you guys want a PS5 or
Oh.
an Xbox Series X or S, go follow him. Uh, he's not asking for money. He just wants people to follow him. So I guess I'll give him a shout out because that's what he wants. But yeah, following him did help me cop that PS5 like I mentioned earlier. So if you want one, follow him. Take his advice. He's like the U.S. editor in chief of Tech Radar, so
Oh, okay.
he gets pretty uh, early notification of when restocks are coming in. So yeah, would recommend following him if you guys want to cop a PS5. Anyways, other than that, I think that's about it for tonight's stream, I guess. Gray, do you have any closing remarks before we tell our
My
viewers that we'll see
closing
you
remarks
next week?
from here on out will be the same as my opening remarks, in that I will not apologize for my past.
All right. Well, Shrita Shay, you have a good week. All the other viewers, you have a good week too, and we'll see you sometime soon. All right. Goodbye.